Hello, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, your Saturday is off to a great start. If you're catching this live, I hope you have your foam roller all ready for you. If you do not have a foam roller, unfortunately, you will not be able to follow along with these foam rolling stretches because you will need to utilize a foam roller. So that being said, if you need a foam roller, just let Stretch Lab Board right know. Our general manager, Angela, myself as a flexologist, any of the flexologists, we can get you accessible equipment as soon as possible. So if you would like to add some more tools to your toolbox, just reach out to us and we can definitely get you squared away with a foam roller. So that if you don't have a foam roller and you just want to watch this to see what benefits foam rolling and putting it into your routine can do for you, then I hope you stick around. If you're catching this at a later time, utilizing foam rolling, some people use it prior to exercise, very little, for 1 to 2 minutes, just to get their blood flowing, promoting blood to that muscle area is why people foam roll, a couple of minutes before activity, before their warm up. But most people foam roll after their activity. They're noticing some muscle tension. They're really trying to get blood flow, create muscle elasticity into that area. That's really what foam rolling is for after exercise, for recover, for rest, to get blood into the muscles, create more muscle elasticity so your muscles can recover quicker. So that were just to name some of the benefits of foam rolling. So I wanted to go over some do's and don'ts with foam rolling today before we get started with our session. With foam rolling, you really want to be intentional with your foam rolling session. So it is not just laying on the foam roller and rolling around on it. You want to be aware of your body and making sure all of the right muscle groups are being hit. So I'll dive a little bit deeper into that when I guide you through our foam rolling session today. So again, be very intentional with how you foam roll. Don't nonchalantly go into a foam rolling session. You're not going to see any benefit from that at all. So one do of foam rolling is for the benefits of that. Being intentional with your foam rolling sessions, making sure you're putting enough pressure on the foam roller against your muscle so you're feeling you're feeling that lactic acid or that fluid in the muscle being shifted out, otherwise called tension knots or muscle knots. That's a really great thing for the intentionality of our foam rolling. Make sure you're not going over any bones, tendons, or ligaments. This is specifically for your musculature and the muscles in your body. So again, if it is sketchy or if it feels sketchy, it probably is sketchy. So don't do it. Stay away from your bones, stay away from your spine. Again, and I'm going to be guiding you through that throughout our session today. So just to, again, re-highlight some benefits of foam rolling before we get into our foam rolling session today, is going to be creating that blood flow into that muscle group. So it really helps that muscle rolling back and forth along the belly of the muscle, bringing blood flow into that area as well as oxygenated blood to help repair and regrow the muscle tissue. So repairing the muscle is going to be 1. Resting in relaxation as well as decreasing your muscle soreness is going to be 2. So this is a very intentional and body awareness practice. This helps you understand where your tension knots are at, understand how your body is feeling while you're foam rolling, and those are just highlighting some benefits of foam rolling. And I can go on and on about that. If you need to do some more research on foam rolling, or if you have any more questions for me, feel free to ask. Moving away from the foam rollers, I also do have a rolling pin out that I will be using on my front body, so my anterior chain. It is not needed, but will be utilized for this. I utilize a rolling pin, but we have something in the studio very similar like this. It has the nubs on it like this foam roller does. So again, that's just again to stimulate blood flow in through your muscle groups. I use this on my quads, and then we'll be going over the usage of this. It's very similar to a foam roller, especially this one. They're essentially the same. And then again, a pillow or a yoga block can be utilized for comfort. So especially for the first exercise that we will be doing today, that's going to be important if you don't, if you feel discomfort and a lot of neck bending and opening your neck up this way. That's when you're going to want to support your neck to not give it as much as an extension through the front part of your chest and your neck for here. A yoga block can also be utilized instead of the pillow if you have that as if you have that in your toolbox. So we're going to pretty much roll out our entire posterior chain this morning. Before diving into that, if you notice that your upper body, your lower body, your lats, or a certain part of your body is tighter than one part, you're going to want to focus in on that area and maybe take that foam rolling exercise with you and practice it a couple of times a week. This is not a one size fits all. You're really going to have to be in tune with your body here. So if you really enjoy one particular foam rolling exercise and you really think it'll benefit you, take that one foam rolling exercise and perform it a couple of times a week and see if that releases any tension in the soft tissue area in your muscles. But we are going to go ahead and get started on our back. We will be doing these positions for at least 2 minutes. 2 minutes allows enough blood flow as well as enough relaxation and breath work to get into the belly of the muscle. If you're doing it for less than 2 minutes, the benefits aren't going to show themselves as they would if you practice each one of these for at least 2 minutes or longer to create that relaxation in the muscle groups. So we're going to start on our T-spine. I am going to use my purple foam roller that does not have any nubs on it. If you already have foam rolls and you are comfortable with doing a foam roller with nubs on it, this is going to be more intense and dig into your tissue a little bit more. So we're going to again start on our back. The foam roller is going to be at the base of the shoulder blades. So right at the bottom of the shoulder blades, I'm going to stay with my knees up here, and we're just going to warm up the T-spine. Your hands can go behind your head, or you can extend them out behind your head, and then let that foam roller go a little bit farther up your back and sink your head down to the back. Nice big deep breaths here wherever we're at. So right now I'm just propping myself to show you where I started. My hands are behind my head. The foam roller is at my shoulder blades. My knees are up. My butt is on the floor. And then we want to work to try to open up the chest. Opening up the chest, curving this upper back, extending the arms is going to create more force going behind you to open up your chest and your neck. Big breath in and relax. Good. Just take a nice last big breath in and go ahead and meet me with your hands behind your head. So we're going to tuck our elbows in a little bit so our elbows are in line with our shoulders. And then we're just going to kind of crunch up and back. So bringing the head forward, bringing the head back. Bringing the head forward and bringing the head back. So what I'm doing, keep practicing that motion. What I'm doing here is warming up that T-spine, that shoulder blade motion, with an opening of the chest and crunching forward and opening the neck and relaxing. We're gonna add a couple of rolls into this now. So with your hands behind your head, you can lift your butt off your mat and just start rolling up and down your T-spine. So again, I'm going from the bottom of my shoulder blades to the tops of my shoulder blades, about where the base of my neck ends and attaches to my upper back. So again, rolling back and forth. Kind of see, you can lean more towards the right side like I'm doing here, or you can lean more towards the left and see what area is a little bit tighter for you. Keep rolling here. If you want to go a little bit lower to hit the upper to lower back region, or upper to middle back, that's just going to be more so extending through this thoracic spine. Chest is high. Good. A couple more rounds of breaths, and we're going to move into our lat region. So this is really going to open up our chest. If you're right-handed or one-hand dominant, you're probably going to feel that stress more so on your dominant side. So now that we've rolled out our T-spine, we're going to shift onto our side and hit our lats. So our lats are going to be this side muscle group here. I'm going to angle this foam roller on my side. So I have it angled at my hip. I'm going to lift my arm up and stick it right by my armpit. So again, what that looks like, it's right by my lat, it's at an angle. I'm laying on that right hip. My hand is up, or you can go behind the head, and you're just going to come back and forth. A nice trick I learned was you can rotate in and out of this. Just how the lat muscle runs, rotating really gets that emphasis. You can also rotate the hand a couple different directions here and bring the body back and forth. Great job. See, again, we are here onto our lat. We are focused in. We are shifting ourselves back and forth and putting enough down pressure that I feel the benefit of the release in my right lat, my right side muscle right here. Take a nice big breath in and relax. Just finish up here with a couple of small rolls. And we're going to switch sides. So again, facing this onto the side at an angle, placing it here at the side of my armpit, right at the base of where my lat comes in and attaches through this area. Placing and laying down on the foam roller, laying on my left hip this time. And then arm can be up, arm can be behind the head. We're just going to move back and forth along this foam roller, kind of scraping ourselves. Again, find a comfortable position for you. Foam rolling, you kind of have to play with what your body's telling you. And I'm just kind of opening like I would in a T-spine rotation, bringing my right and my left and really getting that lat muscle relaxed. Ooh, that's a tough spot for me. So again, if you find a hard spot, put some down pressure, take some big breaths in, and exhale. Try to sink your body deeper into that so it releases. Again, play around with different hand motions. Bringing that left hand up, doing some rotations. Last inhale and exhale. Awesome job, guys. So that was 2 exercises for your back, your spine area. We hit this lat region right through here, as well as our entire T-spine from our upper neck area to right under our shoulder blades. So those are great if you're finding yourselves hunched over a lot, having a lot of tightness, and a lot of rounding in through your back, doing the big extensions overhead to really open up your chest and gain mobility back here. Those 2 exercises with T-spine as well as our lat foam rolling exercises are great for that. So since I'm just focusing on foam rolling today, I just wanted to touch on using a tennis ball or a yoga therapy ball to get into the muscle tension knots a little bit better into your back. I will be doing a live stretch or mobility flow with just the yoga tune-up balls as well. That is a great additional one to add on to these foam rolling techniques. But for the sake of time, just take a nice big breath in, lift your arms up to the air, lace your fingers out in front of you, and push your palms out. Really pulling apart your shoulder blades in the back. And then round those shoulders, pull your arms behind you, and lift your chest up in the back. So we're just kind of testing out your mobility here. See how your shoulders are feeling after practicing those foam rolling exercises. Now, moving on to our legs. We're gonna go into our hamstrings. And again, this would be a great time to utilize a YTU ball and get a little bit more into the glutes. But utilizing our, I'm going to utilize my more spiny foam roller to get deeper into my leg muscles, just because my body is telling me that I need to focus on that area today. So again, just be in tune with your body. First one I'm going to start off with is at the top of, right at the crease of where my hamstring and my glute meet. So right at the base of your leg, top of the leg, and right at the bottom of your glute. You're kind of just going to shift that knee up and prop your hands, and then you can roll back and forth on this, just like I'm doing here. So I'm going from the base of my leg, the top of the back of my leg, down right above my knee, the back of my knee. Again, you don't want to roll right behind the knee. You want to stop right about here and miss this section. So you're really targeting all of your hamstring muscles here. If you're not feeling this too much, start to point your toes in different directions. Roll your ankles around. See if that's hitting some different areas. If I've worked with you before as a flexologist and we go into the hamstring stretch, what I usually do is place people's toes in different directions to hit either the outside or the inside of the hamstring muscle. So if you're more tighter towards the inner part of your leg, point your toe towards the left. If you're tighter towards the outside of your leg, point your towards the right. Go ahead and finish up here. If you still can't really feel this too much, just honestly putting some more downward pressure, giving yourself some pressure here, rolling kind of back and forth and just sitting on the foam roller rather than dragging it back and forth. If you're not feeling too much there, like I just said, you're gonna have to put a little bit of down pressure here. If you're feeling this too much, maybe it's really intense, go onto a softer floor like a carpet, or if you have a really padded mat, that can also be helpful. We're going to go ahead and switch legs. So again, starting at the base of my glute, going all the way to where my kneecap meets. Again, I'm pointing my toes towards the right, towards the left. Be really intentional here. I'm really going to put some down pressure on this leg because this is my leg that gets really tight. So I'm just on this foam roller, putting some pressure down on the leg so it gets deeper into the hamstring muscle. Again, stay with me here. You want this to be intentional. Rolling around on a foam roller without putting much pressure is not going to do anything, stimulate any blood flow or send recuperation to that area. So again, remain intentional. Big breath in and exhale. Big breath in and exhale. Last one, go ahead and finish your last passes here. and relax. So now we're going to go on to the calves. And again, I'm going to use my spiny one. Very similar to our hamstrings. So again, with the hamstrings, you're going to want to put some down pressure. I'm actually not even gonna sit up on this because you want to amiss your Achilles tendon. So you're gonna go till about right here on your calf muscle. So your big aim is to focus on this area in the calf, hitting both sides of your muscle. So pointing that toe away from you, pointing it towards you, pointing it both sides, rotating your ankle. You're going to feel all your muscles firing in that area. So what muscle feels the most tight? What muscle can you focus on and put some down pressure to release that tension, get oxygenated blood, and recover that area? Nice big breath in as you're rolling out this last area of your body. Then we're going to grab our rolling pin. So again, back and forth on this area. My calf, especially this right calf's usually very tight for myself. So I focus on a little bit more towards the inside of the calf muscle just because of how much rotation I have on this right leg. So again, do what works for you. If you're finding it tighter on the outer part of the calf, point that toe away. You can point the toe again away from you. You point it towards you, rotate out that ankle a couple times. When you're ready, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. So again, starting right at, you're missing your kneecap. You're starting right at the bottom of the knee, all the way down. Ooh, this one's a little spicy today too. If you have stayed active during this quarantine, have done a lot of walking or running, these hamstring, glute, and calf foam rolling exercises are wonderful for relaxing you through there. Foam rolling is definitely not the funnest practice, but it does give you bang for your buck, helps you recover quicker, helps you focus on your mind-muscle connection, and reconnects you with your body to help you understand where your body gets the most tight, where it needs the most focus. Go ahead and wrap up this last couple of sequences. Nice big breath in and relax. I just want to test this out with a forward fold. Go ahead, I know we were on our wrists a little bit through there, but roll your wrists out. Next, big inhale, raise those arms to the sky and slowly lean forward to just see where our hamstrings are at today. Last inhale in, slowly coming up out of that forward fold. So hopefully you're noticing some difference in the flexibility and mobility through this range of motion in your hamstrings. So if you don't have a rolling pin, you can utilize your foam roller. You'll just really have to put some down pressure. This would be a great time to utilize this foam roller because it has the knobs on it rather than just a flat surface. But quickly going over our rolling pin. For the rolling pin, I mostly do this on my quads and my shins. If I've done a lot of running or doing a lot of hip dominant or knee dominant movement like squats or deadlifts, or heck, picking up groceries off the ground and lifting them. That's a deadlift that you do in everyday life. So utilizing the rolling pin, sitting in a comfortable position for you, starting at the inside of the leg. See how I'm angling this more towards the inside of my leg? We prop myself up for you. That's what it looks like on the inside, hitting more of the meat of your quad, and then hitting the side of the leg. So Your quadricep is made up of 4 big different muscles in this top of the leg area. They all attach near the kneecap, because the kneecap's right there. So hitting all angles of the quad can really give you some benefit and understand how you're compensating in your squat form, how you're compensating in your movement, and how we can address that in our studio by really focusing in on that area that's tighter. So for me personally, that's the inside of my right leg, just like the inside of my right calf is always tender. So I focus on that area because that's where my body gets the most tight due to overpronation of my foot. My foot rotates too far or wants to go out too much for that movement. So again, press down with a good amount of pressure on your quad. Make sure you're really feeling the benefit and how this can release your quad muscles. It should feel a little tender. So go ahead and switch sides if you haven't already. Start with the inside, work towards the middle, and then work towards the outside of your quad. If you're noticing that one spot's a little tighter, then focus in on that area. So on my right leg, I didn't show you this before, but on the left here, I'm doing small waves rather than big ones. If you find a knot, maybe say in the middle of your quad, focus on that and just roll it out by doing some small waves across it, just like I'm doing here. Again, make sure you're breathing properly throughout this. And now we're going to move to our shins. So shin splints are common things that runners get, but even walking, if you're starting to feel a lot of tenderness at the front of your leg, then this is a great exercise for shin splints. Sometimes I even use the knob of the rolling pin and just kind of run it down my shin. It's almost like a scraping type of form, but you can use the rolling pin side too. Woo! So your shin bone lines right at the top, aligned with the knee. You want to hit the sides of this. So you don't want to go directly down your shin. You want to angle that more towards the side, like it's going and hitting the side of your calf. So hopefully that made sense. Again, mine's on the outside this time. So the outside of my shin is really where I'm hitting this. You can extend the leg and again, do your toe motions. Keep your toe pointed away, point it towards you. And you're just scraping back and forth. Go ahead and switch sides if you haven't already. So I already noticed a really big difference between my right and my left side, especially on this exercise particularly. But go ahead and finish up with your rolling pin if you're utilizing it. I am going to wrap up by showing you guys just how to use the foam roller on your quads. I particularly don't like utilizing the foam roller on the quads because it is difficult to get into and it's a lot of pressure on your quadricep muscles. So I recommend utilizing the rolling pin or something to get into the quads rather than this. But for the foam roller sake, so we are just showing you this really quick. You don't have to do it if you would not like to, but hitting the front of the quad is just going to be laying in positions like this, bringing the heel to the glute and really targeting in through your quad muscle. As you see, I'm rolling it right on the top here. You can shift your body around and hit those areas from right to left, just like I had showed before. So really it's just laying down with the foam roller onto your quad and right through here. If you want more direction on this exercise particularly, please just comment on the video and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But that wraps up our foam rolling session today. I hope this foam rolling session really helped clarify for you where your muscle tension and aches and pains might be lying. Maybe you noticed that your right side is tighter than your left, or it was a little bit tender on a certain exercises. But that's, again, the benefit of foam rolling, sending a lot of oxygenated blood, creating more blood flow in that space. So just recapping some of those benefits on why foam rolling is important and can help aid in movement and mobility. But what I really hope you got out of this foam rolling session, like I said before, is just understanding where your body's at, understanding where your aches and pains are at, and understand how you can release those aches and pains at home with certain tools you can utilize. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and thanks for catching in on this foam rolling session. Have a good day.